What even is Call of Duty these days? I've reached a stage with this franchise as someone that's been playing it since its golden years where I don't even know what is going on anymore. Granted, I took a long break from this game and I came back when they rebooted Modern Warfare because of name recognition and brought me back with 2019, and I played them all right through until the most recent one, 2022's abysmal Modern Warfare 2, which granted, when it came out, I was putting in quite a lot of hours into it. It was fun to play. I'm done with this franchise though. I'm skipping 2023's Modern Warfare 3 from Sledgehammer. Oh, God forbid. And then of course we're going into Treyarch next year, which might actually be a decent one, but I'm just done with this franchise. But I ask again, what even is Call of Duty anymore? When I used to play this back in the golden years, it was just a fast-paced Twitch shooter, which you didn't really have to think about too much. It had a great gameplay loop. It was just normie as hell, casual as hell. But if you really wanted to get into it, it could easily become a sweat fest. I mean, the Black Ops 2 ranked mode, the best ranked mode in the history of the series. Back when the COD tournaments were incredible to watch. I know Call of Duty has moved far away from its multiplayer aspects. I know it's still there, but it's significantly dialed back. It's an afterthought. It's all about Warzone these days. And granted, I do believe that at its peak, Warzone is pretty fun. Well, at least was pretty fun. But now, what even is Call of Duty? I'm going to answer this question for you. Call of Duty is here to sell you bundles. It's here to sell you skins. It's here to sell you cosmetics. I know I'm not breaking any news on this one. I mean, this has been the thing for a while, and they are just following the Fortnite trend. And we did actually see not too long ago that maybe Fortnite's in a little bit of trouble, but we're going to save that for another time. But, you know, there's something to look at with that one. I think a lot of this monetary push can come to the fact that this game has operators instead of just nameless soldiers. Like, you think back to like COD 4 when you were playing as like British SAS faction and you were just some unnamed British soldier with a gas mask running around. You had generic ass voice lines. Now it's all about who are you playing as. And I do think on a surface level that isn't necessarily a terrible thing if that means we can run around playing as our favorite characters such as Captain Price or Soap or whoever it may be. Sure, I don't really have too much of a problem with that. But of course, that was just the tip of the iceberg, because from there, it's all about what cosmetics. You want to get Captain Price wearing his iconic bucket hat? You're going to have to pay up front for that one. And then they go down the Fortnite route of, well, what if we start adding crossovers? Granted, Modern Warfare 2 wasn't the first COD to do this. Call of Duty Ghosts had a Snoop Dogg voice line pack, I believe it was, for like the announcer, you know, the type of dude that would say like Team Deathmatch, all that type of stuff.
Guard dog ready? Yeah, them pussies afraid. Guard dog rolled over for good. Trinity rocket in your back pocket. Friendly Trinity rocket sounded inbound. Loki offline, it happens all the time.
And that one back in the day, you know, I never played COD Ghosts, but I remember back in the day people being like, whoa, because it was such a crazy new concept. Now, everywhere we go, it's crossover with this, crossover with that. Everything's a bloody crossover these days, and I'm sick of it. I am genuinely sick of all these crossovers. It's diluted the coolness of crossovers. Now it's just which cameo do we have? And granted, I think a lot of that comes down to modern day entertainment in general. Just look at Disney Plus. It's all about which cameo makes an appearance this week on this shitty Star Wars show. Just so my good friend Raging Rhino says, the seals can clap. Call of Duty, the game which was once famous for just being, like I said, a Twitch shooter, which you didn't really have to think too much about. However, there was an incredible competitive scene, is here to sell your skins. And look no further than the Call of Duty YouTube channel. As we can see here on their channel, most of this stuff is just promoting skins, you know, trailers for upcoming seasons and all that type of stuff. Trailers for new seasons make sense, but they are going out of their way to heavily push skins in this game. And I will be honest, I do think Dr. Disrespect, even though I disagree with him on a lot of things and I think he's flaky as fuck, he did have a really good point on the state of Call of Duty.
I think they spent $200,000 just to get Spawn in there. It had to have been, right? How much do you think it cost them to get a Spawn in there? Like $1 million or something? And then they put the production of that video. They're making high-level production video pieces on new skins in the game. And people, people, I guess, like it. I don't know. I don't know the state of this industry. I don't know where we're at, man. It's not what I grew up with.
And he's absolutely right. They are prepared to spend so much money to make, which are honestly eye-catching trailers, so people are more inclined to buy these skins. And let's just have a look at some of these things we got going over here. I mean, Lara Croft's in Call of Duty. What's going on here? Granted, most of these trailers have a really bad ratio, you know, up to down dislikes, you know, with the videos. But all these dislikes in the world doesn't... I'm just going to hit dislike anyway. But all the dislikes in the world don't mean anything to companies like Activision when they sell incredibly well. We can sit there, we can laugh at them, we can roast them, we can ratio them on Twitter. But at the end of the day, when they're making all this money, why would they give a shit about being ratioed on the internet? Because they can just respond with their bank details and say ratio, and we're all taking L there. We keep paying for it, so they keep making money, so nothing changes. On their perspective, this is a tried and tested business model that is proven to effectively generate revenue. It's not about creating art. It's not about creating a good game. It's not about honoring the legacy of the franchise. I mean, just look at the two recent Modern Warfare games. This newest game was called Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2 is one of the biggest releases in the history of gaming. It created so many things that we take for granted today in gaming. Most of it's being phased out, unfortunately. Rest in peace, toxic lobbies, but we keep it real over here. But now all that stuff is just being pushed out to instead creating art, honoring the legacy of the franchise, going out of their way to create a good game, try something different. They just want to keep putting out these types of bundles and cosmetics because it makes money. Again, you got to try and look at it from their perspective. Why would they want to dedicate all this time to trying to be innovative and coming up with new experiences when they can just rehash shit that worked years ago and granted was really cool years ago, bring back iconic characters that act completely different to what made them great in the first place, slap a $20 price tag on these bundles and sell them. That's the other thing I want to mention with this stuff as well. I get when a game is free to play, it has to bring in some type of revenue. It has to make money. I am a capitalist. I have no problem with that, which is why I think as much as I hate the game, games like Fortnite, games like Apex Legends, even to an extent Halo Infinite, if they want to have a shop and they want to sell some cosmetic stuff, that's fine. Those are free to play games. I do think every single game's going above and beyond with that type of crap, but in theory, don't mind it being there, but I think the prices need to be reduced drastically. And if you're going to sell battle passes and stuff like that, then the coolest shit should be in there. Why should I grind hours to reach max level on a battle pass to get a shitty skin when I can just drop a bunch of money in the store and get a skin that's way cooler and has lightning effects and whatnot going on? But with Call of Duty, this is a full-priced AAA game and is charging $20, in some cases more than $20 for these bundles. I mean, just here they are with Spawn. Like, how much do you think they spent to get Spawn into this game? This is an investment to them. They're looking at Al Simmons going, hey, we can bring him into the game and that will make a fuck ton of money. There's plenty of Spawn fans out there. And again, they've been proven that this is right. This is effective. This is an L on us as gamers for consuming this shit. If you spend a few dollars here and there, I don't really think it's that much of a problem. But when it starts to add up and we are spending over $20 for one skin in an already fully priced game, if you don't see the problem with that, well then you are truly lost. Another thing worth mentioning is when Modern Warfare 2 dropped, a large portion of the player base, the people actually playing the game, were voicing their concerns about certain aspects of the movement that they wanted this game to make changes to. That's fair enough. As a player, you're right to think what you think about the game, but we're talking about a large portion of people thought this game was too slow, the TTK, time to kill, was too fast, whatever it may be. And Infinity Ward's response to these criticisms was, we're not going to make these changes that you want because that would affect the realism of this game. Yeah, a Call of Duty game talking about realism. What a world we live in. And while they're going on about not changing aspects of the game to affect the realism, here they are selling cat bundles. Yes, you can play your realistic Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2022 as a cat. What is wrong with these people, man? My realism. Apparently people buy this shit. If I was playing COD and I came against some player that was playing as this cat, you motherfuckers getting teabagged and getting an abusive message after the game. And just for lols, let's have a look at this operator list. So at the launch of the game, yeah, you know, just this part here, I don't really have too much of a problem with this. These are all characters that are somewhat involved in the story and the universe of Modern Warfare. Granted, if it's not Price, Soap, Gaz, Makarov, who the fuck really cares, honestly? But there is like a Warzone story that's going on, and even though Vanguard kind of threw that in the bin, the storytelling of Call of Duty, while it was never peak or anything, you know, the Modern Warfare trilogy, Black Ops 1 and 2, they were competent, well-told, interesting, good stories. Little bit Michael Bay at times, but it's a fucking video game. Fast forward to today, I don't know what's going on. It's just a rehashed, toned-down version where no Russian looks like it's not even going to be in an airport, which defeats the whole point, but we'll get to that when it happens. I'm sure we'll see some story leaks for this game. Maybe I'll just end up watching the cutscenes and then we can talk about the plot over there. So anyway, with these characters, I don't see too much of a problem. They're somewhat involved in the story. You know, it's military, I guess. You know, this dude's a bit of a samurai. Whatever, you know, we got Soap, you know, and then we start to get a little bit crazy. Klaus, it's a Santa Claus joke. It's not Santa, it's not actually Santa Claus, so, okay, a little bit of a lull. Then we bring in characters, well, not even characters, real people like Messi. Okay, this is during the World Cup, when the World Cup was going on. I think we're already starting to push it there. And then we get Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, Shredder running around fighting Captain Price inside of Warzone. We get basketball players. We get characters from The Boys, Black Noir, Starlight, Homelander. This game won't make changes to the gameplay because it will affect realism, and then they'll bring in an event for Call of Duty where you can fly around like Superman and laser beam people out of your eyeballs. But hey, more realism, am I right? And then of course they peak by bringing in Nicki Minaj, which I don't know what they were thinking with that trash. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg just can't get away from Call of Duty. This motherfucker joined FaZe Clan. Imagine joining FaZe Clan in this day and age. What a joke. I'm pretty sure he's out now, but he lost a little bit of money on that, I believe, but whatever. He's probably making a little bit of money being in this game. But you gotta remember, this is another point. When they rebooted Call of Duty, it was all like a connected universe where everything was connected, which is so dumb. They're trying to go down the Disney Star Wars route. And just like Disney Star Wars, the more that comes out, the less sense it makes. Snoop Dogg was a playable character in Vanguard. Now, I'm not even going to go into how Vanguard makes absolutely no sense being a World War II game with the Terminator fighting Godzilla and whatnot, but Snoop Dogg was in that game. And now here he is in 2022's Call of Duty. So Snoop Dogg from World War II, 1945 to 2022 hasn't aged a single day. And then we fast forward to today. I believe this game's in season 6 at the moment. I think this is the last season. I don't know. But they're bringing in Alucard from Hellsing. My realism. And you know what? This doesn't even look that good. This looks like a Fortnite skin. This art render doesn't look like it belongs in Call of Duty. This is just going to look so weird, people seeing this in game. Why he's even here, I don't know, man. I don't understand the concept behind some of these crossovers. Obviously, they got Spawn. They were selling audio packs. They're up to their second audio pack. This game is selling sounds. Nostalgic sounds from the original Modern Warfare 2, the 2009, the good one. Sounds like the iconic Intervention sniper rifle. They are selling you that. What the fuck? Hans Zimmer music. You can dress up as an ape. Now, when people accidentally were able to get this skin a little bit early, that would get your account suspended. What a joke. Lara Croft, they're bringing... Oh my god, they got fucking bunny rabbits. What a piece of shit. And we do know that they're bringing in Lilith from Diablo. They're bringing in Skeletor from He-Man. Bruce Campbell's iconic character of Ash Williams from Evil Dead. What a joke. So once again, I'm going to leave this question to the people in the comments section, and you tell me the answer to this question. What even is Call of Duty anymore?
Hot off the heels of Call of Duty 2, the Infinity Ward team has been developing Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. We're making a more sophisticated, deeper Call of Duty experience. Variety is the next big thing for us. We're going deep and we're going hard.